Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is Rob, also known as Agency of One, and I'm going to run you through a quick tutorial of Adobe Spark. So to start off, let me get my desktop up. So to start off, as a designer, whether you're freelance or you're working for a firm, sooner or later you're going to be called on to do some graphics for a blog or Facebook or Instagram or what have you. So ideally, if you're a designer, you'd want to create your own. So you'd want things to be completely custom, but who are we kidding? You've got like a million things on the go all at once. So doing some social media graphics are probably the least of your concerns. So that's where Spark comes in. So let me just get the URL up here. You can probably see it at the top of the screen, but if not, there it is at the bottom for you. So Spark, just to run through it quickly, it's a web-based software that lets you quickly and easily create social media graphics. So if you've ever heard of or used Canva before, then it's the same sort of thing. So except the Adobe Spark has ease of use that Canva doesn't really have, and some features that they can't really match. So I'm just going to dive into the demo here. So I've already signed in. If you have an Adobe membership, then you can just sign in. And if you don't, then this is also a free service, by the way. So if you don't like the web interface, if you don't like to do it on your laptop or your desktop, there's also 3 separate apps that you can download that can do the same thing for you, so you can do some designing on the go. So to start off, you just click the big yellow plus, and then you're presented with 3 different things. You either have post, where you do your social post and your graphics, or you have your page, where you can do web stories and portfolios, catalogs, and video if you're doing some animated things. So what we're going to do is we're not going to touch on video or page, since it's just going to be a short demo. So I'm going to go over here and hit post. And then it brings up this dialog here where whatever it is that you want to put on your social media, you can just type that in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quote from one of my favorite designers, David Carson, who said, "Don't mistake legibility for communication." David Carson. And then once you have what you want your post to say, then you can go down here and you can pick a graphic size. There's a ton of different things that you can choose. There's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, posters, slides. There's a ton. This is where it's got Canva beat, hands down. You can select things. Canva, you can type in the dimensions that you want, but this one just lets you click it and go straight away. So I'm just curious, do any of you guys out there use Canva, or is there any other type of program that you guys use for designing when you have to fire off some of the posts really quick? There's also Facebook ads profiles. It goes on and on and on. There's even Etsy, and then there's custom ones here at the end. So we're going to go all the way back, and we're going to choose Instagram for this one. Yeah, I don't care for Canva either, Fitnessify. It started off okay, and then it just got a little bit too complicated. It became less user-friendly. So I'm going to choose Instagram, hit continue. So it brings you up like a default. So there's some suggested ones. So if you don't really want to mess around with design, you can just pick one of these ones and go. If not, let's see if there's any here that don't suck completely. I'm not going to waste time with these ones. So I'm going to stick with the original, and then I'm just going to go through the options that we have here. So you're in the design layout part, or the design section, sorry, where you can choose pre-made ones. If you don't like that, the main part is the layout, where you can select margins and you can adjust things on the fly. Magic Layout reflows everything, so you don't have to typeset everything manually. You can go through and add things where if you want it horizontal or vertical, or if you want it in a tiny box, split it up, and there's like a million different ways that you can put this all grid-based so it always looks good. And then with these grid-based ones, you can go through and add pictures to each of these separately. So I'm going to stick with the original layout. And I'm going to go with, let's see, you move over to the palette. You can choose any of the colors. And you can cycle through each of these. So I'm going to go with this one and keep it as white. And then if you want, it gives you the default ones. So if you don't like that one, then you can get rid of that, replace it. Speaking of replace, I'm going to get rid of this URL here. So you can go through and replace it with a photo that you have on your computer, find photos. If you're hooked into Creative Cloud, you can choose stuff from your Creative Cloud account. Lightroom, Dropbox, there's a ton of options. So I'm going to go with upload photo and go with this one here, throw in a typography background, and since David Carson was known as a typographer. Give that a second to pop up. So once you have it, you can go through and you can start messing with the text. So you can go through different presets if you want. I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna stick with that one. Actually, I'm gonna cancel it. Cancel that, go with font, and you can choose the different types of fonts you want. One of the ones that I like is, Bebes is good, or there's a ton of them. They should add functionality where you can use web-based fonts, but for now, I'm gonna go with that one. And you can resize it to whatever it is, whatever size you'd like. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. Yeah, you can also edit on the fly, so that's what that was. Oops. Resize. I'm not going to mess with this too much, but you get the idea. You can go through and add different decorative touches to it. You can change you can put shapes around it. You can add colors. You can change the spacing, opacity, a ton of different things. Once you have it the way that you want it, I'm just going to make this nice and big. Put a dead center. And then once you have it the way you want it, then you can go up to the share button, hit share. It'll save your post, and then you can choose a category. Out of these ones here, you can choose to have your name associated with it, or you can turn this offer on where you might be featured on the Adobe Spark website and where other people can download your templates. Then you just hit the create link. For me, I would hit download. It's going to put it, hey, you just download it straight to your computer. Once it's on your system, then if you want to go through, if you have an Adobe Cloud membership, or if you're a designer, you'll probably use this as a base. You can bring that into Photoshop, Illustrator, mess around with it some more. Just use this to get some quick things down, and then there you go. It's a quick and easy way that's not Canva that you can use to create some social media posts. You can also go through, change the background color. There's a ton of different options. So I encourage you to go to spark.adobe.com, check it out, and give it a try, and let me know what you think. Okay, thanks for joining me. This is Agency 1 signing off.